classes self-contained? Meaning, is it only that cost taught in that group?
We have probably 3 or 4 AP courses that are embedded within other courses, but primarily, by and large, they are all self-contained. I'd say within the visual arts and one foreign language, we have an AP course embedded within another.
And what would be the average of an AP course be, student-wise? How many?
Average number of students in an AP course? Probably 18 to 20, depending on the subject area. Certain subject areas we can have between 20 to 25.
Is there a cutoff?
Is there a cutoff? Our maximum is 28.
What's your minimum?
Minimum.
Okay.
Again, probably, it depends. I would say for our foreign language and our visual arts, what we do in the case of the 3 or 4 that enroll, we will roll it into an upper level visual arts or an upper level.
Does that mean that the teacher is teaching 2 courses at one time?
That's correct.
And they will do that in their contract?
It's considered 2 preps.
It's 2 preps?
It's 2 preps.
What would be the minimum that you would cancel course at?
Didn't we decide a couple years ago, or maybe those that are still here, I think maybe it was a while ago, that we'd start out at 10 and we'd move to 12 and then to 15, and then, I'm right, John, all right, and then to a full load of students.
Thank you.
Mr. Ramos?
Thank you very much for the presentation. And some of the questions that were already asked are similar to some questions I had, but I just have another question on AP courses, which I'm curious, is there a connection, or why are we concerned, I suppose, with whether students who are enrolled in AP courses end up taking the AP test?
Well, it is, I think it's multi-leveled, not concern, but interest, both for reporting to College Board for our place, for our place on College Board, but also for students' level of achievement. When we look at students achieving 4s and 5s versus 2s and 3s, it also helps us determine what, in terms of instruction, is working well and what is not working well, is how we progress our kids and progress our course.
But there's no, is it fair to say that there's no, if we had 20 kids in an AP course and none of them took the test, that there wouldn't be any negative repercussions from any outside agency around that?
That's a tough question to answer. I'm not sure in terms of College Board how that would be reflected. We are a college, we do have our AP courses listed on the AP ledger. So to have 20 students enrolled in AP US Government, I'm really not sure if 0 kids took that exam, what the repercussions would be through the AP ledger. It's not something I've investigated, but I'd be curious to know.
But there are, I guess, standards of being accredited with the College Board for your AP courses.
Any school that is providing AP coursework for College Board is expected to provide students the exam. It's part and parcel of taking the AP course.
Have we ever examined whether we want to cover the cost of the exam?
I don't know that we've ever examined whether we would cover the cost of the exam. I think, through use of fee waivers, we've been able to address any needs for students at financial hardship.
Thanks. I'm just curious, on the, we talked about some new courses that were added. Were there any courses that were deleted from the course of studies in this current draft?
The only course it was the Marine Trades and Italian. No, Italian, so they Marine Trades, which has not run in a number of years.
No interest in enrolling
There has, no, and not, not in my time, but also previous to that.
Right. And on adding the acting and directing and film course, I'm just curious if you could provide some additional context around where the genesis
came
of that
from?
class came from. Yeah.
So our new theater teacher, this is a particular strength and interest for him, and so this is sort of his interest base. And what we're going to, with this, is to see what the interest on our student level is. So we're just going to kind of see what that interest might be.
And has there been any, was there any, one of the constituencies that you talked about meeting with students and families, was there any discussion among that constituency about having a particular interest in that, or is it just something that we're going to test out?
I think more discussion and conversations were had in the theater department and with students, with the teacher, that particular teacher, not necessarily from families and myself.
And then on the communication piece, I guess when you talk about use of mass communications to promote programs and course selection, what types of mass communications is the plan?
So primarily it's through our mass communication, which is our Blackboard system, where we can, send emails specifically to specific grade levels, so we can target, 8th grade families for the 8th grade programs have been handed out. Families should be looking for these. Then we can target freshmen for particular and so we can target specific groups, and then we can target the whole group. It allows us to sort of tailor the message to the particular audience, and so we do it that way.
Thank you.
Yep. Mr. Bradshaw.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. I just had a few questions as well. Under the engineering and business marketing for our CTE pathways, knowing that there are a number of engineering businesses, we've got Raytheon and Portsmouth, and we've got some other engineering companies that specifically work with the Navy. Do we have any new partnerships with any of these for the students that are looking to do internships in the engineering pathway? Or and have we partnered with any additional businesses for our business and marketing as well?
So we are definitely working on building those partnerships across the state, and we have engaged Shana, our work-based learning coordinator, and really those partnerships are beginning to evolve.
So we currently, if a student is in the engineering pathway, we currently don't have an internship for them to participate in right now, and that's something that we're looking to get in the next year or so.
I'm going to direct you to our more CTE first.
We do have partnerships with a number of local businesses, Water Grower, TriMac, a number of companies in the local area where students have been participating in internships, specifically in the engineering area. We're looking to advance to grow that. We're also working very closely with Fair Variety and the skills group that have been working across the state, and they are very eager to work specifically with Crystal Warren to help us advance that program too. So, especially in terms of providing entree into a lot of the larger companies that you mentioned.
Okay. Just another question that I had. Can you explain, you kind of touched on it briefly, the pathway for the college algebra? Would a student take Algebra 1 and then Algebra 2 and then do the college algebra, or would the college algebra course replace Algebra 2?
College algebra will replace, they take it in lieu of honors algebra 2. It's a slightly more advanced algebra 2 than honors.
Okay.
And they're recommended for that.
Okay, so there has to be a recommendation.
Yeah,
for
the
that.
teachers will be making those recommendations, the math teachers.
Back to the AP course offerings and the exam. I'm with my colleague, Ms. Bright. I don't necessarily know that we need to be charging the families up front. And I like Mr. Ramos's thought of, have we ever looked into paying that course or that testing fee for our students? But what is the option? So if we're going to offer this AP course and a student decides, no, I don't want to take the course, or so you're saying that you're going to take, now you're not going to be part of this course, you're going to look for other offerings. Would it just go to an honors course? And would that be weighted if we're weighting, would that weight the same as an AP course for that student in their overall GPA?
No.
Because I know some students would take the AP and do just fine. Myself, I'll be one of those. I took AP courses in high school. I took the exam and I didn't do well. I didn't do well enough to get the college credit, but I still did well in the course, and it helped me with my GPA.
Right.
So now we're taking that ability and that availability away from that student, correct?
Well, again, I think our goal primarily with this is also to ensure that students who are taking the AP course are really taking the AP course for the reason that they want to take that AP course for the AP purpose. Not taking the AP exam, our current procedure, if a student does not take the AP exam, is they surrender the AP designation and they surrender the AP weight anyway. So what we're trying to do is avoid that. And by putting the expectation up front, providing families and students ample education on that, so that they know going into it that the expectation, in order to maintain and keep the AP designation, the expectation is you will take the test. So our expectation in terms of taking the exam has always been there. We're just moving where we want the commitment to take the exam to be. And if a student chooses or opts out, as it's currently written, they would surrender the AP course, they would take a different course. And currently, the way our GPA and weighting system is, our honors courses are weighted slightly less than our AP courses. So they would lose the AP weight.
Okay, and my last, it's not a question, it's just a comment. I like the idea of the acting and directing in film. I think that's there's a lot of acting work in this state right now. There are a number of casting agencies in the state and in Massachusetts, and there are lots of tax incentives for people to bring film and television to this area, and especially in between New York and Boston. There's lots of opportunity. So thank you for allowing our students to pursue that path, because there's definitely some work there, and it's a great opportunity for sure. Thank you.
Mr. Bento?
Can you hear me on?
Yes.
As far as Italian, we run Italian last year.
No.
Do you have any idea what interest might be for the next academic year?
Based on last academic year, we had, I want to say, 2 students. It might have been 2. The interest has not been there.
Since I have been in Bristol, and I can't speak to prior to that, we do have left Italian in the program of studies. However, we've had minimal students sign up, not ever enough to run a class. If I think back, I think we've had a maximum maybe of 6 in any one given year. Students
I want to say
that
it was probably 2. I think
last
it was
year I
2.
believe it was 2.
And as far as marine trades, just something, no interest whatsoever, or?
We've not had students in my time, yes, this is my 3rd year, so the last 2 that I've seen course selections, there's not been an interest. And I understand that, prior to that, not quite as much.
So if I may, just ironically, so when we talk about internships and pockets, we've been really working heavily with the Rhode Island Marine Trades Association on a number of initiatives. So even though we may not be offering a class at the high school, doesn't mean that there's any less opportunities for students to be involved in marine trades. Jen Hoomer, who's on the Rhode Island Trade Association board, works very closely. She worked in our schools last year. She's still affiliated with us. Andy Tisker from town is on the board. There's been a lot of conversations. But we've been having a lot more conversations around how do we get our students exposed to the industry. I think there's sometimes part of the initiative of SAIL Bristol Warren, starting in 4th grade, is to again engage our community into the natural resources around us. So students have a little curiosity on what does it take to live and work on the water, so that by the time they're in middle school, that they have, what does that building do in the industrial park? Who makes sales? Where are those, and then a little more exposure on the wonderful yacht companies in town that they can learn about how do you mold a yacht. So we are working with the Marine Trades Association, even though we don't offer the course, and I think that's more of a K-12 outlook. So I don't want people to think that we have this wonderful resources at Bristol and Warren on the trade, and we're not partnering with that association. I think they're one of our biggest partners in the district as today and moving forward.
Is
And
this something, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, in addition, we've offered through Parashoff Boat Building, the boat building course. Now I think this is the 3rd.
Well, this year we've had 18 students doing very long-term internships with Parashop.
Do you mind, just so everyone can hear, thank you. It's hard to tell that someone because I don't want to interrupt you as you're speaking, but that's okay.
So we've had this year alone, we have our second group of students for the second half of the year who are working every day at Parashop building boats, going around they're going up down to Iris, up to Redford, to the Marine Trades Academy that's up there. They are visiting a bunch of the local companies, meeting and greeting and getting to know some local folks. They're getting some experience too with some appropriate composite experience as well as the use of tools and measuring in wood, building and actually building a boat. We also work with them in extended day, where many of our students participate in an boat building experience for about 10 weeks after school time. We've been very, very blessed with our partnership with the Rhode Island Marine Trades Association. These programs have been, and now I'm being starting to brag, but not brag, but about our kids. We've been especially blessed to have opportunities for students who've been struggling with school and are now finding phenomenal success with their opportunity to work in collaboration, to work hard, to work with an organization of such dignity and integrity. So there's a lot of marine trade stuff that's happening, and advanced manufacturing and stuff like that. So we haven't given up that let's say ghost, but it's not ghost.
Thanks for that explanation. And last question I had was, it just seems like we're doing so much out there as far as partnerships with various businesses and internships. Do you kind of engaging with other high schools in the state? Do you still push kind of like out on the cutting edge? I would assume that a lot of high schools are out there trying to catch up to what I think we've been doing over the last few years. How do you think you would gauge that?
So I would say we are ahead of the game with a lot of high schools. There are those, I think, that have jumped in and do and have a lot going on. The effectiveness of those, however, I'm not convinced at. When we are developing or building a program, it's really important, and Mario says this all the time as well, that we start small, build it strong, build a strong foundation so that it becomes meaningful as well as sustainable. So we are growing and continue to grow, but it is a strong program, and we think that it's just going to continue to get better and better.
Great presentation.
Can I just add along that? So I agree with Dr. DiBiase. I think we're ahead of some schools, but not as far as other schools, especially in the CTE pathways, the career technical education pathways. And I agree with Dr. DiBiase. There's some schools who are great in pathways and name only and recruiting students in for revenue, and they're not that rigorous. I think it's just a way to get revenue in. I don't think, I agree with Dr. DiBiase that it's not the desired outcome. I think it's just another elective class as opposed to a true pathway. So we have to be careful with that. That being said, I think where we're ahead of the curve is our conversations on what the CTE look like in Bristol Warren. So when we talk about partnerships with here, Rhode Island, in our internships and with our entry points, our CTE pathways might look different because we think we need to have our real-world learning experiences be in the real world and not in the classroom. So we're looking at many more entry points for businesses and school partnerships to happen, whether that's around a mentor, a guest speaker, someone on a panel, or a full-blown internship. So I think I've sent the school committee some work on transactional learning work and what does that look like. So I think that's the direction we're heading in, which will be able to provide multiple pathways for every student depending on their need. So it's not only marine trade, but what's their passion and what's their ILP, the individual learning plan starting in 6th grade so that we can create those opportunities without being beholden to a certain course at the high school that we may or may not be able to run depending on numbers. So I think where we're ahead of people is asking the questions on how do we get our classrooms into the communities so the students have those opportunities to work side by side with an engineer, but also give business partnerships different resources. So we had a conversation last year with a small engineering company right off of it. There's only 4 or 5 people that work in the company that does engineering work. They don't have the human capital for an intern, but they would love to be involved with the curriculum development. So we're going to provide opportunities for them to work with the high school teachers to give us comments around our curriculum or be part of the student presentation. So again, it's a real world opportunity for our students to present to engineers, but it's also fair to our business partners that can't be taking on an internship, but they still can be involved in the school. So I think that's where we're ahead of the conversation over other schools where sometimes it's all or nothing, but we really want to know what the businesses can offer, what those entry points are, and so that students can actually navigate the system a little differently. So it's just not going to be in that regard. So our high school program of studies, where our library classrooms are not only at Mount Hope, but our library classrooms are in the community as well. So I think that's where we're a little ahead in our thinking, as opposed to the traditional, we're going to offer, for example, a welding class. We might not have the interest for a welding class, but we might have a partnership with the